past week or so since you lost your bunny, and I just want you to always know that I'm here for you.
Thank
whatever
you, Jack.
need,
Thank you. I've lost everything, man. Like, I have to now work a part-time job at Red Robin. And another bad thing is I had to sell my PS5, and I worked so hard to get that system. I haven't even been able to pay my bills, pay all my responsibilities. I haven't even been able to pay my own personal assistants.
Yup. He hasn't. This man owes me well over $1,000. I was sick of it. So I took matters in my own hands and decided that I needed to become Joe Shane.
Wait, you don't mean?
I mean. All that money was mine.
Where's my
you
money?
took the money?
I took the money. What do you want? I'm watching the World Cup.
I'd like to discuss our financial situation.
All right, come on, man.
Sounds good.
This better be good. You're 2 weeks late on your payment.
Look, I don't have the money right now, okay? I'm sorry. I know I'm late. I spent the money on this beautiful sweatshirt. I'm sorry. You're a good friend of mine. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
I was really generous with you, giving you a cut to borrow when I took the money from Mike. And it's 2 weeks late. I don't know if there's anything you can do to really make it up. Unless
Yes, please. I'll do anything. Anything at all, please.
you let me fill in for you on Sports Talk last show of the semester.
God, I hate those guys anyway.
Sounds like a plan.
Live from the basement of Edwards Hall, it's Brockport Sports Talk with Michael Tamara, Zach Harnish-Faker, and your host, Jack McGilligan.
Hello and welcome back to Sports Talk alongside Michael Tamaro and Ian Wild.
Wait. Ian? Where's Zach?
Zach unfortunately could not be here this week. He had prior obligations. He will be back next semester though, so you don't have to miss him too much.
Well, I don't want to do sports talk with him. He stole my money, you remember?
How about you just cope?
Yeah, how about you just get over it? It's in the past. Hey, don't. Mike, remember therapy. Remember your therapy.
A lot of homeless people are happier now.
Picture yourself on an
All right.
island.
Okay, fine.
Okay. We're good? We're good?
We're good.
Okay, we're good. And of course, Ian, our local hockey expert, you also know a lot about some other sports too. I understand you want to start off this show with an NFL topic and a solemn one, really.
Yeah, this very, very not good news out of Buffalo. I'd like to begin with a moment of silence for Von Miller's season out with the torn ACL.
Go Giants.
But not a moment of silence for the Bills season. I've seen everyone writing Buffalo off for dead since this news came out, and I think that just works to our advantage. I think this team is very much still in the fight. As long as Josh Allen's under center, they got a shot at going all the way.
You say our. Are you gonna go out on defensive line next week?
Okay.
Okay.
I have no intention to, but if they call me, I'll consider it.
Yeah. I mean, I would take an NFL game check to absolutely break my body. I'm kind of desperate.
True.
Mike definitely would. You broke.
I might have to. I mean, I need to cover my expenses somehow.
Yeah.
Might as well, The Bills
Yeah.
need someone because, they're sad, pathetic franchise. So
Yeah, better than the Giants right now, who are
Hey,
on the bottom of the NFC playoffs.
Relax there. Don't talk about my Giants like that.
To be fair.
Who's at the bottom of the NFC playoffs right now?
The Seahawks,
Okay, sure, but who's right by them?
the Commanders.
And the New York Giants. Thank
No,
you. Okay.
no,
And the
no.
top seed in the AFC after this week, the Buffalo Football Bills.
No.
Yes,
no.
sir. Back on top of the division.
Back on top.
But I will
And-
say about the Giants, they didn't lose to the Commanders, but they didn't win either.
Yeah. Again, as I've said before early in the season to Zach when the Colts tied, a tie is better than the loss, but is it worth the emotional pain that you go through witnessing a team flounder to go through that overtime period to get to the tie?
I believe we should have won that game. I mean, they played Taylor Heineke because Carson Wentz has been hurt since the beginning of the season. And it's just
He's
our
better than
offense
Carson Wentz.
stinks.
I mean,
He is
Our
better than
offense
Carson
stinks.
Carson Wentz stinks. You think they would be better with Carson?
Doesn't matter. but we should have won that game. But unfortunately, our offense stinks.
Heineke's-
It's so
Heineke
bad.
better than.
He is the better quarterback,
he's the better
but
quarterback.
I agree. The Giants outplayed them for the vast majority of that game, and they were the better team. Just couldn't finish it off.
If only
Yeah.
Graham Gano was instead Justin Tucker, we would have won that game.
Oh, yeah, if you replace your kicker with arguably the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
That's like saying if you had prime 2007 Tom Brady instead of Daniel Jones.
No,
really.
it's just for that moment, just Justin Tucker for.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, because we should have had Justin Tucker
Well,
too. just
unfortunately,
because
you can't
I have
trade
to
for
watch
Justin
Graham
Tucker
Gano.
for a
Like,
play.
Graham Gano's not that bad, but he's no Justin Tucker.
He's no Justin Tucker. Yeah, Graham
No
Gano
one's
is a
Justin
scrub.
Tucker.
You know, I apologize for comparing Graham Gano to Daniel Jones in terms of quarterback
Yeah,
kickers.
shouldn't.
He's a better kicker than that. Though I haven't really followed up on how he's doing this year so far. I don't know. Is he doing all right? You
Top
feeling
two.
good about him?
Yep, top two.
Top two?
Yep, top
but
two.
he is two because he's not Justin
No,
Tucker.
he's one.
That's a lie.
That
You
is-
just said if he was Justin Tucker.
Oh, I thought you were about Daniel Jones. Oh, no.
No, well,
I meant Daniel Jones is
yeah,
top
we're just
two.
confusing ourselves here.
I could
But
go all in on this. I'm way nicer than Zach, though.
that you are, and that's what we really appreciate about you, Ian. But
I don't
unfortunately,
appreciate Ian at all, actually. Not at all.
This is
well, I mean, it's your fault. I mean, you fell for the easiest to like gauge phishing email of
Maybe
all
if he
time.
wasn't a lousy bodyguard, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
I mean,
I'm
do you
gonna
think his
decline to
influence would
comment.
have increased if you actually paid him? Cheap?
Fair point.
Let's move on. Let's just move on.
Wow. I finally got Mike to get to right there and admit that he's wrong. But you know what? You know what other teams have admitted that they're wrong recently? The Atlanta Falcons, they are going to sub in Desmond Ridder this week for Marcus Mariota, and also around the NFC. Some injuries to quarterbacks like Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Stafford have now forced the Rams to pick up Baker Mayfield. And now the San Francisco 49ers are going to be putting in Brock Purdy, who I got to say, he looked pretty decent. He looked pretty good against the Miami Dolphins, and I feel like that's a system where, you can plug and play a QB, which is why I'm kind of surprised they didn't go after Baker Mayfield. But I guess the Rams, they just want to try something, even though I feel like if they should just tank. But, they're always, it's not like they have draft picks to
I was
fall
about to say,
back
they
on.
don't even have their own first. Detroit has it.
I mean, but, they got to try something, and, Matt Stafford, just another reason he's not a Hall of Famer. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah,
He's
Matt
out.
Stafford not Hall of Famer,
And I mean, yeah, Marcus Mariota, unfortunately, Marcus Mariota's strongest soldier, Zach Harshfager, not here this week. I think it was last week they got in a soapbox about him. But, I mean, the Falcons, they could maybe win the division if they beat the Buccaneers again and the Buccaneers lose a few more games. But their hopes are done, so it makes sense that they want to try out and see, what they got with Ridder. But
The Falcons don't beat Tom Brady, though. That's the problem. So I think they recognize that. At this point, their season's, barring a miracle, over, and they should see what they have in a potential starting
yeah,
quarterback.
because if you want to run it back with Mariota again, it's just you're going to be the same exact team.
I will
So you
say,
might as well
Falcons
see.
have already exceeded my expectations for this year. I
Yeah.
thought they're going to be the worst team in the league by far, and they haven't been that. They've been at least competitive, but
Yeah.
obviously not looking like it's going to be postseason.
I would guess they would have been where the Texans are right now in the NFC, but everybody, compared to the Texans, are going to be as bad as they are.
Yeah.
A bit wrong. I mean, Young Kokui is the GOAT, unfortunately. So, I mean, but
Waste of talent.
waste of talent. I mean, maybe they still got a shot. They could make the playoffs.
Crazier things have happened in sports.
Yeah, and much worse, not many more worse divisions in the NFC South right now. And, but enough about the NFL. Not too exciting this week. A lot more exciting, at least for us right now with our interests, is the MLB Hot Stove.
I love the stove. It's hot right now. Sizzling very hot right now.
Well, it was hot, and now it's starting to cool off a little bit. Most of the big names have signed to other places. You still got Rodon kicking around. The
Maybe
Yankees.
Yankee Carlos.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees seem to be heavily favored to get him, but the Yankees end up pulling away with their man, Aaron James Judge.
Let's
they
go,
get him
Aaron. That's my captain.
Yeah, after MLB reporters said Arson Judge was going to the San Francisco Giants.
I
That
love
fraud,
John
I didn't even want to mention his name because he's a fraud. He's a fraud of a reporter.
Yeah, like this guy right here.
Well, he frauded you. I mean, so yeah.
Still fraud, though.
I'm the
Yeah.
one that commits the fraud.
Yeah. He also gave back charities and that. I mean, really, they deserve the more
I'm
than you.
morally
You're very
ambiguous.
morally bankrupt.
He's a liar.
You let the money go straight to your head.
He probably used that money to buy this outfit that he has right now.
As he should. The Buffalo Sabres, the Buffalo Slug. You don't love it? This is high-end fashion right here.
I want to throw up every time I look in your direction.
Well,
That's harsh.
do it away from the table, okay? Don't aim towards me. The Yankees get Aaron Judge, which was big. San Francisco and the Padres apparently, reportedly, offer him the biggest contract. We'll get to them in a little bit. Trey Turner to the Phillies, which makes a lot of sense, but I feel like people are forgetting that the Phillies, for most of that MLB season, were kind of not much better than, more than average team with a lot of holes throughout that regular season. That playoff run really, and the way that their bats got hot really masked a lot of their problems. Trey Turner can certainly solve it. It's not a bad idea to just throw money at one of the best, the speediest players, good bat, shortstop. Trey Turner, he's great, but you're also signing him to a big deal, and you've already got a lot of other deals and some holes and things that can make you a much better team than you are right now. And really, that's what it gets down to, especially when you look at DeGrom going to the Rangers, where it feels, I just don't know. Mike, how do we make sense of what the Texas Rangers are?
Here's how to put it in simple terms. You just don't.
You just don't.
You just don't.
They're just a money sink.
We don't have to discuss anything further about this specific part of the offseason. You just don't. It's the Rangers.
The Rangers are still living in the shadow of Jose Bautista.
That's true.
They are.
Really
They are.
broke
They've
the
not
franchise,
recovered from that.
Man, I used to like the Texas Rangers. Like, I remember the 2011 World Series. Like, I can name every player on the team.
Oh, you mean the time when they had 2 times for one more out to win the World Series, and you just blew it both times. God, yeah. I miss that point of MLB history.
David Freese.
You just don't
still
like
a
the
legend.
Texas Rangers? Where'd that come from?
No, I don't dislike Texas. It's just funny how many screw-ups they have.
I dislike Texas a bit, but that's besides the point.
I do too. Go Jays.
Oh, Jays.
Still little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still rivalry bleeding over all these years later.
I mean, yeah, when you get into an actual fist fight on the diamond, those emotions tend to stay. And, you also get Verlander to the Mets, Bogarts to the Padres, as we said before.
It's laughable contracts.
Yeah,
Laughable.
because the Padres apparently offered big money to Trey Turner and big money to Aaron Judge, better than both offers that they actually accepted. And they end up going other places, so they spend out on Bogarts with an 11-year contract, which just seems crazy to me when it's like Xander Bogaerts has been one of the arguably the most consistent all-star in the MLB when it comes to his production over, the years. He's been consistently like a 5-win player, and has been really, really good, but how much longer is that going to, stay true?
11 years is a massive gamble, regardless of the quality of player.
And I imagine it's going to be pretty backloaded, but
where the hell
it's going to be front-loaded.
Getting this money from anyway?
I don't know.
Like, it's literally coming up right out of their butts, Like, where is this money coming from?
As someone who comes up with money out of nowhere, it makes me jealous.
Yeah.
Like, they're even better than I am at this.
They probably fish a couple people just like you fish Michael. I mean, yeah.
They probably
Hey,
Yeah.
this is not a situation you joke about. This is serious. He stole money from me.
And gave it to the poor.
Yeah. Good guy. You're a good guy, Ian. Thank you for that. And you're also a really good hockey expert. In a big night in the NHL, you are wearing some Buffalo Sabres merch, even though you are a Montreal Canadiens fan. I guess, are the Sabres basically your second team, you would say?
I'd say so. It's usually like 2A, 2B between them and Carolina, but
Yeah.
I had to wear Buffalo merch today
Yeah.
because Tage Thompson had himself a night
He
in
did.
Columbus.
Overrated.
Scoring 5 goals in that
Not good.
game. How much hockey do you watch?
Enough to know,
Not
I
enough.
guess. Yeah.
But I know enough to know that Thompson is not good at the sport.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats, shall we? Because Tage Thompson has had one of the most incredible rises out of nowhere to stardom in recent memory. In his first 145 games of his career, he had 18 goals and 17 assists for 35 points. Not great. His last 104 games, 59 goals, 49 assists, 108 points, averaging over a point per game. It can't be denied anymore. He's a superstar.
Yeah.
But what
That's just
stuns
luck.
what stuns me is just where did this come from? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah. So with Tage Thompson, I mean, he's always showing flashes of being this, but I feel like now he's a center. They moved him to the center. He's able to have a lot more play, get a lot more space out on the ice. But I feel like they pigeonholed him into being a power forward early on in his career, and they made him, go on lower lines with, Gergensons and non-skilled players. And also, he just had these spots where you saw the skill and why people are interested in him, that, this big guy could have puck skills, he could do this and that. But I think the real big thing is just, when you talk to coaches and you talk to people around Buffalo, they always spoke so highly about how he did in practice, how he did, before season. Every season I heard about Tage Thompson. He's going to be new and improved. He's going to be bigger and better. I feel like this season, last season, it just all clicked for him. And this season, he's just going further on. I think it's just he's gotten confidence. He's gotten in a system that allows him to play his way with Don Granato, and they've been able to have a lot of success. And another team that's had a lot of success is the New Jersey Devils. Speaking of Buffalo Sabres, former Buffalo Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff, who was getting, first night, he was getting chants from, around the arena, fire Lindy. And now the Devils are on fire.
Yeah.
They're absolutely amazing.
It's
Ian.
remarkable. They've been the surprise team of the NHL so far. I didn't really see much of them until they played the Canadiens in Montreal a few weeks ago. It was the first time I watched a full game of them. And Montreal didn't make very many mistakes. They made maybe 3 or 4 mistakes the whole game.
Yeah.
Devils scored on all of them. They are one of the most opportunistic teams I've ever seen. They make you pay when you screw up.
Yeah, I got to see the Sabres versus Devils game live when I was on break here from Brockport, and I had front row seats. I was in the corner that the Devils shot at twice, and they are just unrelenting. All the Sabres, I thought, played a good game, but it was a good game because they were able to get some chances and fast breaks against the Devils while they almost completely controlled the game, really. They are just a dangerous team, and yeah, it came kind of out of nowhere, but obviously they were just a raw, talented team with a lot of talent from, their rebuild, and now they're fully getting it down, and I mean, yeah, you look at them and you feel like it's could be a fluke or it could be something.
I don't think
but
it is, because
just on paper you think it could be a fluke, but clearly, Michael,
They are a fluke.
well, you're a New York Rangers fan. We'll speak about that
Yeah,
fluke.
the Rangers, you mean the best team in the NHL?
Yeah, last year was a fluke for them.
Very
That was not a fluke.
They're
inconsistent.
mid this
We
season.
were robbed
mid.
of that. We were robbed of a Stanley Cup appearance. Robbed.
Yeah, and now you're never going to get back there. So
We are
cry
going to get
about
back
it.
this season. I know it.
Oozing confidence. We'll see if they follow up on it.
Haven't so far this season,
No,
but the
they've been
Devils had. And you also wanted to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, and
I don't want to talk about the Maple Leafs personally. I really
Not
don't.
many people do.
Are you the hockey expert?
Yes, I am.
In your own opinion. In my opinion, Ian is the smartest man in the world. And how do you feel about the Maple Leafs right now?
The Leafs' biggest issue was goaltending going into this offseason, losing Jack Campbell. They signed Ilya Samsonov and Matt Murray, and a lot of people were not very thrilled about that. Thought they wouldn't go back to form. Samsonov, 9 games played, 924 save percentage, 2.09 goals against average. Murray, 9 games played, 932 save percentage, 2.34 goals against average. The Leafs' goaltending is here. They're back. And it's a hot take. I think this could be the year the Leafs finally make it past the first round. I really do. They got all the pieces they need.
All the pieces? I feel like having their goaltenders be as high as they are could be a fluke. That very obviously.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fluke.
I feel like it's just at this point it feels like the Leafs missed their window to me to be a full team. They've just spent too much money on their top guys, Tavares, Marner. Everybody's getting paid, Matthews, and they don't really have the depth on their offense and defense to make a truly deep run when you've got to go against teams like the Bruins, Devils, and Lightning. I can't pick, and even the Hurricanes. I can't pick the Leafs to be straight up better than any of those teams right now. And as many nets as Matt Murray knocks off the moorings right now during the season, I just can't quite say that. And I mean, I would like if they made it out of the first round, because as much as I hate the Leafs, I also just feel pain for sports fans.
Here's what really gets me about them. This year, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I think they will win because they have no choice. If they don't make it past the first round this year, management's getting blown up and the core's probably getting blown up. They know this is almost certainly their last chance to make a run.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I mean, it feels like a point where the management's going to be blown up, but how can you even blow up this team with how much money you're spending on Tavares and everybody else?
They need to deliver. It's time.
It's time to deliver, but it's Toronto Maple Leafs and that media. I'm surprised that it's gone on as long as it has with this core, with how much failure
Especially
it's
after
been.
they blew that 3-1 lead against Montreal.
Yeah,
That was bad.
And it's almost as bad as Mike blowing all of his money on a fake email from Ian.
I'll never forgive you for that, by the way.
You know what? I'm at peace with what I did. I
Yeah.
helped a lot of people out.
Yeah.
I just
You
want
helped
to make.
I
Zach
don't care
out.
about those people. You stole my money.
Hey, he helped
Remember the-
Zach out with
remember
his
the
money.
fair-
One of your best friends.
He's my best friend now?
One of your best friends. Zach
One of?
Harnischwager. What? Do you not like him?
I don't like him either. But
Wow.
I like him a lot more than this one right here.
This one. Well, that's pretty rude. And it's a pretty rude way to end sports talk for the semester, but I guess that's how we're going to have to do it. And, you know, it's been a great year so far here with Brockport Sports Talk. We'll be back next semester in January. And, you know, we appreciate everybody watching, everybody tuning in. You know, our special guest, Ian, we appreciate you filling in, coming in for sketches and also other things with Mike's Bodyguard. You know, it's been, I really appreciate how you've been able to step up as basically the designated pinch hitter here for Sports Talk. And
Yes,
Mike,
sir.
much as we joke around, I do love doing this show with you. You are, you know, what you know, I consider you my best friend around here. And, you know, having you on this show, you know, after it was just me and Zach for the first couple episodes, it's been a really good time, and I feel like it's furthered our friendship.
I feel the same way for you, Jack, but unfortunately I do not feel the same way for him.
I do really appreciate you, even though I did commit a really bad financial crime against you.
He feels really bad about it. Isn't that good enough?
He feels bad about it. He wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, we feel really bad that we won't be back in January, but we will see you then. Till then, you know, this has been Michael Tamaro, Ian Wild, Jack McElligott, signing off.
Happy holidays.